100% bullshit. But it's entertaining.
Yeah, hey Carson. I'm sure you were used to a lot of this outside noise stuff at Georgia. Now that you're at Miami, this is sort of the first time you've had to deal with it here. How do you deal with it? I guess is it something that didn't surprise you because you have seen it before? And just generally, how do you sort of process it?
Yeah, it's not the first time that obviously I've taken a loss or, you know, had turnovers or, didn't play up to the standard that I want to play to each and every week. And again, sometimes you get out executed, sometimes you don't execute the plan. And again, there's plays that, you wish you could have back, but again, we come back into the week, you continue to prep the same way you have the whole entire year. I don't think it was ever a prep issue. It was never, something that we were doing throughout the week or something that we didn't do. I think it all ultimately came down to execution. And again, I have to be better, and that's hand up accountability for me. But again, nothing changes. We continue to prep the same way that we have been and continue to do the same things that have ultimately got us to this spot. Just because of, one shortcoming, it doesn't take away everything else that we've done this season. And it doesn't take anything away of what we still can continue to do. So for us, it's just next play mentality, next game mentality, just taking things day by day and trying to go 1-0 every single week, like I just said.
Awesome. We'll go over to Jordan McPherson next. Jordan.
Yeah, hey Carson, two questions. First off, just with Stanford, just what stands out about their defense now that you guys had time to look at them on film?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that they play really physical. You look at that D line and their linebackers, they play really physical. They're really hard hitters, man. They have heavy heads and they come downhill at you. So again, I think that their defense will oppose and threaten some challenges towards us. But just like every week, it's going to be about us. It's going to be about the way that we're able to go out there and execute. But again, they're going to challenge us. They're a big physical team, and we're going to have to go out there and match their physicality.
And not to harp on the whole turning the page next step, that's been asked a couple times, right? But how have you seen the team respond since Friday? And just like you said, the importance of making sure that one loss doesn't snowball into two and potentially more. How do you guys make sure you're able to handle what you need to handle?
Again, I think we have a lot of mature players on this team, and again, I think the identity of a team is shown when you're standing in the face of adversity, right? We got knocked down, and how are we going to respond? Well, I don't know that answer yet until Saturday. So again, it's the same thing every single week, regardless of a win or a loss. The week before, we're focused on each week individually. It's 1 week seasons, especially from here on out. So again, the prep that we've had this week, the intensity that we've had at practice, it's what we've had every single week. Nothing changes. We just continue to be who we are. And again, we just have to go out and execute on Saturday.
Our last two questions here from Adam and Andrea. Adam, do you want to go first?
Yeah. Hey, Carson. I have two questions. So I guess last three questions. First one, just you mentioned trying to, improve on the little things after watching film. Just what are some of those little things that you want to improve going into Stanford?
I think just again making good decisions, and I think we've harped on being aggressive and taking shots and things of that sort, and that's still a huge part of what our offense is, but also just doing it in the right moments and understanding when to take a check down, when to maybe check a play or just make a better decision. Obviously, there's so many different decisions that I have to make on each and every play. And again, I'm not ever going to be perfect. But with that being said, that's what I strive to be. I strive to be perfect and I strive for perfection. And, that's what I try to do for this team and these guys. But again, just continuing to go back to the little things, go back to the basics, my feet, my eyes, going through the reads, just studying the playbook, making sure that I know everything and anything and making sure the wide receivers are on the same page with me. So again, it takes all 11 on offense to be able to execute. And that starts with me and being the quarterback. So again, just going back to the basics, doing what I can do to be the best for this offense and this team.
And then I'm not sure if you talked about outside noise a few minutes ago, but there were some people, some like national pundits on Twitter talking about your answer about the last interception. Some people were saying that you threw Elijah under the bus. Now I think anyone who watched the whole clip would have known that's not what you were doing, but when you can edit things to make them look a certain way. Did you talk to Elijah just to make sure that he knew what you were talking about, that you weren't trying to talk bad about him or anything like that, just to kind of make sure things are copacetic and everything?
Yeah, I was never throwing him under the bus. And when asked the question, I was asked, what happened on the last play. And I think if you go watch the whole clip of what happened, I mean, you can go look at what I said. But again, I mean, an interception is on me. And again, I'm ultimately the guy with the ball in his hands at the end, right? So I have to take accountability for that. But again, when I think people can take things out of context sometimes, and that's not at all what I was doing. I've never been that type of person. I've never been that type of way, and I've always taken accountability for my mistakes. Again, I didn't play my best. I honestly had a terrible game, and that's a huge part of why we lost. And I have to live with that. I have to take that. But again, it's going to be how I respond and what I'm able to do in the weeks moving forward. But we're not worried about that. We're worried about Stanford right now. So again, everything's good on our end and internally. So just moving on forward as a team and seeing what we can do to continue to execute on Saturdays.
Last question. Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah. Hey, Carson, thanks for doing this. You guys have been so good for the bulk of the season of just being balanced on offense. And I'm just curious from your thoughts on just trying to get the run game established a little bit more now against Stanford to get back to the balance that you guys had and maybe what led to not executing as well in the run game this past game.
I think the biggest thing is just understanding that it takes all 11 on offense, right? Just because, the run game isn't working, it's not just because of this person or that person or, everybody wants to, point fingers on the outside, but that's not what we do. It's not what we do here. We watch the film, we look at it, we look at maybe areas where we've been weak, maybe areas where we've been strong. What are good plays? What are good schemes? What are good concepts that, fit our team and fit our 11 as a whole. So again, I think obviously I don't want to give too much information on, how we're going to try to attack Stanford and what we're going to try to do against, their defense and how they align. But, just trying to stick to the basics of what we do well is honestly more important than anything. So again, I think we're going to have a great plan this week and I think we're going to go out there and execute it. So that's all we can focus on. It's all we can do, continuing to move forward.
Okay, awesome. We'll go into questions for offensive lineman Markel Bell. Chris, if you want to start us off.
Yeah, Markel, just what has been the issue in regards to the penalties with the offense, and then just what needs to be the thought process and improving in that area moving forward?
Well, I can't speak for everybody. If I know for myself, I got a penalty. I got a pre-snap penalty, and that it just comes from being disciplined, and it all starts from practice. It all stems from practice, man. We just gotta lock in, no matter what's the outside circumstances or whatever. We just gotta lock in.
Adam, you want to go next?
Hey, Markel, how's it going?
Okay, how are you?
Doing well. So just, obviously you guys took your first loss last Friday. Just how have you seen the team kind of respond to that, bounce back? What's kind of the attitude, around the team after that game?
I feel like we took 24 hours and we're going in the right direction now. I know personally, just me and myself, I got something to prove, and I know the rest of my boys, the 11 on offense, 11 on defense, and special team included, we got something to prove now. So we're gonna go and get it.
Awesome. We'll go over to Jordan McPherson next. Jordan.
Yeah, hey Markella, two questions. First, you mentioned having something to prove. For you personally, how would you evaluate your first half of the season to this point?
I feel like I played pretty good, and of course I always got something to work on, and that's what I'm continuing to grind out here on Green Tree, man. But I feel like I played pretty good. I'm playing pretty good right now.
And then when you look at Stanford, specifically their defensive line, what stands out about them? What are you expecting from them on Saturday?
But they're a big physical team. They're similar. They run similar things to Louisville as well. So it won't be nothing too foreign for us, and we're just gonna go out there and do what we do.
Awesome. We'll finish up with Matt Shadell. Matt.
Yeah, hey Markel. I want to ask you about the run game a little bit. The last couple of games, the run game started off great this year, right? And then the last couple of games faltered. Is there any rhyme or reason to that, or other teams doing things to take it away that you guys need to adjust to? What's sort of going on with the run game?
Well, everybody got film, and they scheme us up pretty good, man. But I don't too much worry about the other team. I focus on us, man. We just gotta execute, and we gotta help the coaches out. No matter what play call they call, man. They want no play call is perfect. We just gotta make it work. as an offensive line, as a wide receiver, quarterbacks as well too. We gotta all buy in. We gotta all put our head down. We gotta go behind our pass. So we gotta run through somebody's face.
Okay, we'll go right into questions for Zechariah Poyser. Chris, if you want to start us off again.
Yeah, Zechariah, just what are some areas of improvement you want to see with the secondary moving forward?
Just executing and tackling for sure. Like Coach Harris, Coach Heatherman, we've been practicing that all week, just getting our tackling better and just executing in general.
Go over to Matt Shadell. Matt?
Yeah, hey Zechariah. I wanted to ask you sort of the mentality of the team right now. You guys sort of came in a bunch of disparate pieces, right? 11 transfer starters, and you meshed together really well at the start, and now you sort of have your first real adversity, I guess, so to speak, or the biggest adversity. What's your sense for how this team's going to respond, and what leads you to think that it will respond the way you think?
I could tell by the aura of the guys, we're not letting last week like define us, that's just something that happened. I think we'll bounce back. I could feel it. Practice this week was great. So I think we'll bounce back. And like I said, it's about how you bounce back from adversity. It's not the adversity that defines you.
Go over to Adam Lichtenstein. Adam?
Hey, Zechariah. So mentioning, how you bounce back and how you respond to that kind of adversity, just what are some of the things that maybe you've seen, over practice in the last couple of days that like show you that, okay, this team is still locked in and, ready to turn things back around this week?
The execution, like I said, guys sprint to the ball, the D line, everybody sprint to the ball, everybody communicating loud. There's no mishaps. So I think this week has been focused on executing and just doing that. So, yeah.
We'll do the last question from Jordan McPherson. Jordan?
Yeah. Hey, Zechariah, just with Stanford, what stands out about their offense? What are you expecting from them on Saturday?
A great offense, You seen what they did to the team up the road. So, explosive guys, speedy guys, a pro-style offense, like they got NFL coaches. So it'll be a great challenge for us. So, that's a great offense, and I'm excited for the challenge.
Awesome. Last but not least, we'll have questions for CJ Daniels. Chris, if you want to get started.
Yeah, CJ, just curious, how would you evaluate how the passing game is done through the first 6 weeks of the season?
I think it's been going well, but we got to take it week by week like we do each week. It's a new week. It's a new team. So the standard's still the same. The focus is still the same. We just got to come out and execute whatever play is called, whether it's a run or a pass. I think we had a great few weeks of practice, and I think we're ready to go.
Go over to Adam Lichtenstein. Adam?
Hey, CJ, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Doing well. Obviously a lot of the focus has been on Carson for Friday's game, but just how have you guys been working on the passing game, between you guys, Carson, and everyone over the last couple of days?
Just attacking practice with the right mindset. Like I just said, man, it really don't matter whatever play is called, whether it's a run or a pass, man. It's all 11. We got to execute as one. So whether it's a run or a pass, man, we're attacking it the same way. It's nothing to it.
And then with Malachi, it just seems like every week he's getting, a bit better. Just how have you seen him grow over the course of, even just the first 6 weeks of his first season?
He's just relentless, and he's been relentless on and off the field. He's a guy he's the first person in the building, and he's the last one to leave, man. And I think it all sums up to how he plays on the field, man. It all leads to that, man. So, he's a guy that's just going to maximize his opportunities. He's a leader, even though he's young. And yeah.
Go over to Matt Trudell. Matt?
Yeah, hey CJ. So I was curious on your thoughts about this. The offense sort of has stagnated a little bit, with the run game and then obviously some interception problems last week. Do you think there are going to be some tweaks? You're in the practice, obviously. Do you think a lot of this will be fixed? Is it hard to fix? Do you just think the offense is fine the way it is, just needs better execution? Like, how do you sort of view this whole thing?
I don't think anything is going to change. I think the coach has us in position where he wants us. I think he trusts us. I think the main thing for us is to attack each practice like we never had before, man. And I think these guys just came out after the loss we took last week, and we just had it on our mind to make the small details matter most. So with the run game, it takes all 11. It's not just the O-line. It's not just the running back. It's the receivers as well. It's the perimeter. So, as long as we do our job, as far as each man does their job, 1 to 11, I think we're going to be successful, whether it's a run or a pass. So, I think we had a great practice these past couple of weeks, and, we just ready for this weekend.